Hello and welcome. I'm glad that you're here.
ようこそおいでくださいました。
Thank you for taking your time to answer some important questions.
これから大事な質問をするんで、そのために時間を割いてくださってありがとうございました。
We were wondering if you could begin by telling us a little bit about how you and your husband met.
純ちゃんのお父さんとお母さんがどのようにして出会って結婚したのかっていうことをこれから質問したいと思いますので、よろしくお願いします。
Okay, and the answer?
もう答えていいの？
あ、いいんですよ。
本当に日本的な出会いなんですが、お見合いっていうことで、私がお花を習ってまして、その時の先生のご紹介でその場を設けて主人と初めて出会いまして結ばれたんですけれど。
It was arranged. So she went to like flower arrangement school, and her teacher introduced him to her one day, and just they like each other.
Okay. And Mr. Tamaru, what do you remember about the first time that you met?
お父さんはどのようにお話しになりましたか？
明るくて感じがいいと思いました。
どのように出会いましたかっていうことを。
お見合いだから。
お見合いだから。
じゃあ、yeah, he met her as arranged marriage, and his first impression is toward her was really good.
Uh-huh.
Because she looked very cheerful and very honest.
Okay.
私、
お母さんはお父さんの第一印象は
非常に真面目な印象を受けて、この人ならついてっても絶対間違いないっていうふうに思いました。真面目っていうのが一番。
Okay.
Okay. He looked really serious and honest person to her. So through the first impression, she was just felt about, oh, he's a nice guy.
Ah, okay.
He must be
Okay.
my husband.
He's a nice guy. Okay. And what do you remember about today's wedding? As you reflect on today, what were you thinking about today?
今日の結婚式を通じてどのように感じられましたか？はい、じゃあお父さんからいきます。
皆様のいろいろと心のこもった配慮をいただいたので、大変隅々まで心のこもった大変いい結婚式ができたと思います。
It was really heartwarming party because many people, like all friends and relatives and family, helped each other and made a really good wedding party. So he was so happy about it.
Okay. And Mrs. Tamaru, were there any thoughts for you about today's wedding?
私も本当に皆さんの隅々まで手伝ってくださって、手作りの心の温まった式ができて本当に感動しました。アダムさんも主人と同じようにとても真面目な方なので、娘をアダムさんに託しても本当に大丈夫で、本当に温かい家族の方に育てられたんだなっていうのも分かって、ご両親も立派な方で本当に心から喜ぶ、安心してお嫁に出すっていうことができました。
Okay.
本当に皆さんありがとうございます。
Yeah, even though they first met your family or your all relatives, they were so nice, so she was so impressed. And also, they were so nice to everybody. And they make like flower bouquet or balloons, and they just said everything by themselves. So she was so happy because it's just handmade. It's not already all set things.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about the wedding that will be held in Japan. where will it be and when will it be? And
日本の結婚式についていつやるのかとか、どのようにしたいかとか。
来月の9月の6日の日に土曜日に今日参加できなかった親戚主人の兄弟とか親戚の者に来ていただいて、あと純子の学校時代から勤め先の友達に皆さん来ていただいてアラブさんで紹介して皆さんにお披露目っていうか、そういう形にしたいなと思って皆さんにご紹介するっていう感じでやりたいと思ってます。6日
Okay, so the wedding will be September 6th. It's Saturday. It's Saturday, and they're gonna invite all the relatives and families in Japan because many people could come here because it's in the United States, and also grandmother and all their friends from high school and the office she's working at, and they are really excited about their wedding.
As we begin to close today, are there any words of wisdom that you would like to share with this newlywed couple as parents?
じゃあそろそろ終わりにしたいんですけれども、最後に純ちゃんとアダムに一言あれば。
まあまだ未熟ですけれども、お互いに助け合って幸せな家庭を築いてもらいたいと思います。
They are still young, but he wants them to be really happy forever, and also he wants them to make a really nice family, and something like that. Okay, hard for family. I'm sorry.
Mrs. Tamaru, any bits of wisdom from you?
本当に国際結婚という形でアメリカと日本っていうことなんですけど、お互いの国の良い習慣とか良いところを出し合って素晴らしい家庭を築いていってほしいなと思って、とにかく温かい家庭で純子も日本の奥さんの良いところを一生懸命料理したり、アダムの健康に気をつけて、とにかく家に帰ってきたら休めるような家庭を作ってってほしい。
She wants Junko to look a good side of American customs or American family, and also she wants Adam to look at good side of Japanese customs and Japanese family, and they get together and they help each other to be a good family.
I thank you for your time, and we are honored by your being here.
じゃあ今日はお越しいただいてありがとうございました。なんか緊張しちゃった。
大丈夫でした。ごめん、ありがとうございます。
I want to thank each of you for being here today, and we're honored by your presence.
今日はお越しいただいてありがとうございました。
We're looking forward for this film to be shown in Japan so that the friends of the Tamaru family will know more about your family.
このビデオを撮る目的は日本にいる家族の方々とか純ちゃんとか家族の方々に見せるためにで分かりやすく純ちゃんの旦那はどういう人なのかとか家族はどういう方なのかっていうのを紹介するために撮ります。
Don, would you tell us a little bit about how you and Joyce met?
じゃあまずアダムのお父さんから どのように奥さんに出会ったのかということを質問したいと思います。
We were both students in college. She was a freshman, I was a junior, but I worked in the freshman girls' dormitory's dining hall. So every time Joyce would eat, I would serve her her food. That's how we first met.
初めて会ったのは同じ大学なんですけれども、ジョイスの方が1年生でドンの方が2年生だったそうなんですけれども、なぜやったかというと、ドンの方が学校の寮の食堂で働いていて、それでジョイスがいつもご飯を食べに来るときに会っていたということなんですけど。
And Joyce, what do you remember about your first meeting Don?
There was a young man who I had accepted a date with, and he also worked in the dining hall, and he was saying something about having a date with me, and Don heard him talking about it, and he thought, well, whoever you can date, I can date, and so he called my room because he knew my roommate, and he asked her to let me know that I needed to come to the phone and meet him. He asked me for a date, and I told him I would go out with him, and the first date was okay, but he asked me again after the second or third date. Well, we started dating pretty regularly.
やはり学校の食堂で出会ったようなんですけれども最初ジョイスが他の男の人にデートに誘われているのを聞いて、でドンの方がこの人がジョイスとデートできるんだったら僕にもできるはずだと思ったみたいなんですね。それで彼女の部屋に電話をかけて、彼女のルームメイトが最初電話に出たんですけれども、ドンから電話だよっていう形でジョイスとやっと話ができたみたいです。それでドンが初めてデートに誘って 2,3 回デートをして、それから割と頻繁にデートをするようになったみたいです。
Do you remember where we first went on that first date?
We went to a freshman football game.
初めてのデートは大学のフットボールゲームだったそうです。
And how long did you date before you were engaged to be married?
婚約する前にどんなようなデートしてましたか？
We started dating in the fall, and probably by the spring we had made up our mind to see about getting married. But it was not going to be till the following year. That summer, I gave her a ring, and then it was December of the following year that we married.
Okay.
初めて会ったのは秋で付き合い始めたんですけれども、それで春にお互い結婚しようっていうふうに決めたんですけれども、実際に婚約指輪をあげたのはその1年後だったみたいです。
And what do you recall about your wedding day?
What do I recall?
Uh-huh.
I recall a lot because I was in college. I was taking final exams, and I took all of my finals on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And Friday night we had our rehearsal. Saturday we got married, and it was a very nice wedding. We had a lot of friends who came, and the wedding was very pleasant and very nice. But then the next Monday I had to go back to school to start the next semester. So it was kind of a quick in between two semesters getting married.
結婚した時には彼女はまだ学生だったんで、水曜日、木曜日と期末試験を受けて、で金曜日の日にリハーサルをして、土曜日に結婚式という大変忙しいスケジュールだったんですけれども、結婚式自体はたくさんのお友達が来てくれて、とても素晴らしいものでした。
And Don, what do you remember about the wedding?
I remember vividly standing, waiting for Joyce to come down the aisle. And she looked very, very frightened, scared, maybe even a little bit sad. And I remember mouthing the words, "I love you." And she smiled, and everything went fine.
結婚式のことを振り返って今思いっきりのろけられたんですけれども初めて結婚するときにホールからジョイスが降りてくるときにとても緊張していて怖がっているような顔だったので最初はどうしたのかなっていうふうにドンは思ったそうなんですけれども 一言ドンが愛してるよって言ったらジョイスがニコって笑って、それからは全てうまくいったそうです。
And would you tell us a little bit about what are your thoughts about today's wedding? Joyce, can we begin with you?
Yes, this was an interesting event for me because Junko told me the last time she was in the United States that she wanted light blue. And after they went back to Japan and I started trying to plan this wedding, I thought, oh my, I need to know more than light blue. And yet we planned it, and I think it went together very well, and I was very pleased with the way it happened, and I hope that the family that came over from Japan was equally as pleased.
去年の夏に純ちゃんがこちらに遊びに来た時に一言、純ちゃんは色では青が好きだっていうことを言ったそうなんですね。でジョイスがそれだけを覚えていて、それから結婚式の予定を立てたそうなんですけれども、それからもうちょっといろんなことを知りたいなっていうことになって、何度か手紙や電話で連絡を取り合いながら今日の結婚式の予定を立てていったみたいです。で今日は日本から純ちゃんのご両親と弟さんが来ていただいて、とても嬉しく思いますというふうにおっしゃっています。
And Adam, how about today? What are your thoughts on today?
I thought the wedding went pretty good. I was scared and frustrated and nervous, but it turned out pretty good in the end. Everything went well.
アダムは今日はどうでしたかっていう質問に対して、アダムは初めから最後までずっと緊張していたと言っています。でちょっと緊張して怖がってたんですけれども、でも実際結婚式自体はすごくいいものに出来上がったと思うっていうふうに言ってます。
And my final question is, Joyce, would you begin by sharing any bits of wisdom that you want this couple to be remembered?
Well, I think the main thing that they need to do is to remember that their marriage is based on a commitment, and that when things maybe are not as they think they should be, that they work through their problems and they learn to talk very, very well to each other and to explain frustrations they may have and to increase their understanding.
この結婚は一種の大きな約束なので、もし何か食い違いとかあった時にはお互いによく話し合ってお互いに理解し合うことがとても大切だからっていうふうにおっしゃっています。
Don, any bits of wisdom you would like to share with the couple to think about in the future?
Yes, I thought the most beautiful scene in the entire wedding was the lighting of the unity candle, where both of them took their single candles and lit one candle and then snuffed those out. And the vocalist said, "Thy people shall be my people to me," signifying the unification of two families, two lives, two cultures. My wisdom, if it would be any, would say, remember that moment when two lives became one.
キャンドルサービスのことがすごく印象に残っているんですけれども、今回のキャンドルサービスで2本のろうそくから1つのろうそくに火をつけるっていうことをしたんですけれども、それがとても印象的で素晴らしかったと思いますっていうふうに言っていました。どうしてかっていうと純ちゃんは日本からアダムはアメリカからっていう形で2つのものが1つになるっていう意味を込めてもすごく良かったと思いますっていうふうにおっしゃってます。
I thank you for these precious moments.
今日はどうもありがとうございました。